Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You check your bank account, and instead of wondering whether you can afford your bills, you realize something incredible. Your investments have earned money while you were sleeping, your bills are covered, your emergency fund is intact, and if your boss called to say you were fired today, you wouldn't panic. You'd simply smile. Now let me ask you something. If financial freedom is possible, why do so many hardworking people spend their entire lives living paycheck to paycheck? After all, they work hard. They put in long hours. Some even work 2 or 3 jobs. So why do they never get ahead? The answer might surprise you. It has very little to do with how much money they make. In today's video, I'm going to reveal the 10 biggest reasons why most people never become financially free. More importantly, I'll show you how you can avoid these mistakes. And make sure you stay until the end because the final reason quietly destroys more financial futures than almost anything else. Let's begin. Before we talk about money, we need to clear up one of the biggest myths. When people hear the words financial freedom, they picture private jets, luxury mansions, expensive watches, and sports cars. But that's not financial, that's luxury. Financial freedom is much simpler. It's waking up without worrying about your next bill. It's knowing one unexpense won't destroy you hate without fearing how you'll survive. It's taking time off to spend with your children without borrowing money. Financial freedom isn't about impressing strangers. It's about having choices, and here's an important. Most people never lose the chance to become financial overnight. They lose it one small financial decision at a time. Let's talk about the first mistake. Reason 1, they spend everything they earn. Have you ever noticed something strange? Someone gets a raise, then 6 months later they're just as broke as before? How does that happen? Because as income increases, spending increases too. A bigger paycheck becomes a bigger apartment, a nicer car, a newer phone, more expensive vacations, more online shopping. Their lifestyle quietly expands until every extra dollar disappears. There's a saying that perfectly captures this. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Think about 2 people. One earns $60,000 a year of every paycheck. The other earns $300,000, spends everything. Who becomes financially free first? Probably the first person. Income creates opportunity. Habits create wealth. So before chasing a bigger paycheck, ask yourself, am I managing the money I already have? Because if you can't manage a little, having more often just creates bigger problems. But there's another reason people stay broke that's even more dangerous. Reason 2, they never learn how money works. Let's be honest, most of us spent years in school. We learned algebra, history, science, geography. But how many classes taught us how to build wealth, how to invest, how taxes work, how to avoid bad debt? Probably none. So people graduate knowing how to earn money, but not how to grow it. Imagine trying to play a game without ever learning the rules. That's how many people approach money. They work incredibly hard, but they're playing the financial game without understanding it. The good news? You don't need another college degree, one good finance book, one investing podcast, one educational YouTube channel. Those small lessons can literally change your financial future. The more you understand money, the better money works for you. Now here's where things become really interesting, because even financially educated people sometimes make this next mistake. Reason 3, they rely on only one paycheck. Imagine your entire house is powered by just one electrical wire. If that wire breaks, everything goes dark. That's exactly what happens when all your income comes from one job, one company, one boss, one paycheck. If that disappears, so does your income. Financially successful people usually build multiple streams of income over time. One continuous shot. Maybe it's investing, maybe it's rental property, maybe it's freelancing, selling digital products, maybe it's dividend-paying stocks and online business. Notice something important. Most of them didn't build everything overnight. They started with one extra stream, then another. Financial freedom rarely comes from one giant leap. It usually comes from many small steps. And speaking of small steps, the next mistake slowly drains wealth without notice. They let debt control them. Debt can feel invisible until you add up how much it's costing you. Imagine filling a bathtub with the drain open. The tub never fills. That's exactly what high-end interest debt does. Every month, part of your paycheck quietly flows into interest payments instead of building your future. You're working hard, but someone else benefits. Now, not all debt is bad. Some debt can help build wealth, but expensive can keep you financially trapped. Every dollar you stop paying becomes another dollar you can invest. And that leads us to something most people completely misunderstand. They expect to get rich quick. Social media has convinced people that everyone becomes a millionaire overnight. You see flashy cars, luxury homes, huge bank accounts, and it feels like everyone except you is getting rich. But here's what social media rarely shows: the 10 years of work behind the failures, the sacrifices, the late nights, the boring consistency. Real wealth usually grows quietly, one investment at a time. Now here's another mistake that's costing millions of people every single year. Reason 6, they never invest. Many people believe saving money is enough. Saving is important, But here's the problem. Inflation quietly eats away at your purchasing power. That means the money sitting in your account buys every year. Investing gives your money a chance to grow fat inflation. And this is where one of the greatest financial miracles appears. Compound growth. Imagine rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it barely grows, but as it keeps rolling, it gets bigger, then much bigger. Investing works exactly like that. The hardest part isn't finding the perfect investment. The hardest part is starting early, because time is often more valuable than the amount you invest. And that brings us to a mistake that's driven entirely by emotion. Reason 7. They buy things to impress people. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever bought something you didn't really need, just because everyone else seemed to have one? You're not alone. Many people spend money trying to look successful instead of becoming successful. Luxury cars, designer clothes, expensive phones. There's nothing wrong with enjoying nice things. The problem begins when appearances become more important. Here's something that surprised me. Some of the wealthiest people in the world don't look wealthy at all. And many people who look rich are drowning in debt. Never confuse wealth with appearance. One is real, the other is often rented. Now let's talk about something that can increase your income for the rest of your life. They stop improving themselves. Think about it. The people who solve the biggest problems usually earn the biggest rewards. So instead of constantly asking, how can I make more money? Ask, what skill can I learn that makes me more valuable? Reason 9. Fear paralyzes them. Fear sounds reasonable. What if I fail? What if I lose money? What if it doesn't work? Here's something every successful person realizes. Fear never completely disappears. Simply stop waiting for it to disappear. They act anyway. Confidence doesn't usually come before action. Confidence comes after taking action. Start small, learn, adjust, keep moving. Reason 10. They have no financial plan. Imagine getting into your car. You start driving. Hours pass. You burn fuel. You chose a destination. That's how many people manage money. They work out. Hope isn't a strategy. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will disappear. Ask yourself these questions. How much do I want saved? Once those answers become clear, your daily financial decisions become much easier. Maybe while watching this video, you recognized yourself in several of these habits. That's okay. Most financially successful people made many of these same mistakes. The difference is, they changed. Financial freedom doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. Spend a little less, save a little more, learn something every week, invest regularly, build your skills. Those small actions may seem insignificant today, but 5, 10, 20 years from now, they can completely transform your life. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 10 mistakes do you think holds the most people back? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos on building wealth, investing wisely, and creating lasting financial freedom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.